Mr. Phil Boughton, please.
Hello. This is impressive. This is a great county. You can put this kind of talent together to work on a problem. And so I'm encouraged. Just so you know that I'm not some end of the roader. I retired as a naval commander. I flew fighters from Navy ships for 20 years and have over 1,000 carrier landings and 352 missions over North Vietnam. So I spent some time of my life defending the freedoms of this country. About a year and a half ago, I was attacked. Okay. Let me first say that I have written 4 or 5 letters of appreciation for things I've seen the Fairfax County police officers do to the Mount Vernon station there. And I will tell you that right now I would invite 98% of them over to my house for dinner. So that's not the problem here. The problem is there's a few of those folks who have way too much testosterone, or, I'm going to tell you, I think they're attack dogs. Of the 20 officers that showed up at my house, 2 guys came into the front door with their guns drawn. Now, I hadn't had a traffic ticket in years, haven't had a jaywalking ticket, I haven't been charged with anything, and I've never sued anybody. So hopefully I wouldn't fit some profile as kind of a dangerous citizen. I had a son who had failed to show up to court, and I was talking to one of the detectives there every week and said, okay, he's at the Subutex program, and now he's going to go to the New Beginnings program. And I said, I know your official answer is he should come into the station, but if you ever really need him, you call me and I'll bring him down there. I mean, I'm 5 minutes away from the station. And we had that dialogue every Monday for over a year. This was a Friday, and these people showed up, and a couple of the guys came through my front door with their guns drawn. And I said, what in the world is the matter with you? What's your gun out for? Put your gun away. You know, and they started hollering this and hollering that. I said, hold it. Can one person talk to me at a time here? I can't quite understand what you want. If I know what you want, I'm sure I can help you find it, you know. And so my son had actually not been in my house for about 3 weeks, and he'd stayed the night before because we were getting ready to go out to New Beginnings. And I said, if you want David, he's in the basement. And so they went down and got him and brought him up. And then at some point they wanted to search my bedroom, and then they wanted to search my backyard. And I said, well, let me get my dog, because he's in the backyard, and put him in the laundry room so he doesn't bother you. And the same guy that had his gun drawn told me that if my dog bothered him, he'd shoot it. Well, you can imagine, I'm probably the wrong guy to tell that to. So he and I had a nose-to-nose for a little bit, and I assured him that if he shot my dog, he would suffer. Okay? I didn't spend that many years flying fighters off of carriers and day and night and everything else to be intimidated by some Fairfax County police officer who was over the line. Now, I know it's extremely hard for a leader to maintain the discipline of his huge police force and still discipline a few guys who are out over the line. That's really hard to do. I've been in command of some things in the Navy, and that's why you have an XO. The XO goes around and, you know, punishes people, and the boss doesn't. I cooled down for 6 months, and I wrote a letter to the chief, 3-page letter about what happened to me. No answer. Nothing. No response whatsoever. Now, I don't think that's okay. I personally went down to the police place, you know, that big building down there, and went to Internal Affairs, and I said, hey, can you make sure this is in the system? I would like to at least know that the leadership knows that some of their guys are out of control. The one particular detective that did come, that we talked every week, he was there. I saw him. The poor man was standing out by his Crown Vic, you know, and he had all his armament on, and he was looking down. He was so embarrassed that he wouldn't even come up and say hi to me, and I don't blame him, you know, because he knew that this was not the way to handle that problem. So you guys are tasked with improving this and fixing the response of the Fairfax Police Department. Please make sure that you take care of all the good guys out there, because some of my friends are dragging their feet thinking that, all the police in Fairfax County are painted with the same negative brush, and that's not true, and you guys can probably do something about that. But we need to give the leaders, the senior leadership, a way to discipline their guys who get out of control. Thank you.
Thank you.
I've asked Colonel Bryan to be in a position to give us some feedback on any police department perspective relative to the article that was in the Post that was the Iraqi veteran who was in an apartment, a vacated apartment, and the police came in, and the story was in the Post, I think, on Sunday. If you haven't seen it, I've got a copy of it right here. But Deputy Chief Ryan, is there any perspective that the department did the department get inquiries following that article, and has the department offered any insights or additional perspectives about the article? Yeah,
and I apologize, because we had another engagement tonight, so you're going to be leaving 4 to 8 tonight, so if you have to leave, it's not that I'm offended, I just have somewhere to go. We were notified, we obviously saw the article in the paper, and that prompted us to, on a different level to look into what the deal was, but we had actually gotten an inquiry on this early on. And I brought here with me Major Mike Klein, the commander of the Internal Affairs Bureau, who I'll refer to him to give me more detailed explanation as much as possible in terms of what we're doing and where we're at on this. But initially an inquiry was done by the commander, and he did have contact with Mr. Warden to explain the situation and why action was taken. And then it resurfaced with the article in the Washington Post, and then we're just working on that as well. But an inquiry was conducted initially. Now we're taking it out of the station, and we're doing it on the bureau level, because the IAB works for the chief of police, so the chief wants to make sure that everything that was done was proper and within policies and procedures in our departments. That's why the IAB has it. Mike, do you want to talk anything about it as much as possible?
Pull up the tape, please.
Sure.
Mike, can you tell us the date you give them to?
Well, see, I can try to remember that, but I didn't come here with notes because I